What's up, Rink Rats? It's Woody. I'm here to tell you that this week's episode is brought to you by Champion Hockey. If you're looking for quality wheels, sticks, bags, and apparel, then look no further. Champion Hockey has everything you need to look and play like a champion. Check out top-of-the-line Legacy Series sticks and wheels and upgrade your game without breaking the bank. Go to champion.hockey to purchase your gear now, and make sure to check out Champion on Instagram at Champion Hockey to stay updated with products and events. Champion Hockey. Look like a champion. All right, and if you love this show, then you will also love the College Roller Foundation. The College Roller Foundation is a volunteer-run, tax-exempt 501c3 nonprofit organization that exists solely to raise and distribute funds to deserving college roller hockey student athletes in the form of scholarships. The College Roller Foundation isn't a tournament series, league, championship, governing body, or sanctioning agency, but rather works with partners to host events to raise and distribute all those dollar bills to roller players who also like to get their academia on. By raising money through donations and divvying out these scholarships to the players, the College Roller Foundation seeks to grow the game of roller in college. And if you're interested in finding more info, helping out, or donating, please visit www.collegerollerfoundation.com and make sure to follow them on Instagram at College Roller Foundation. College Roller Foundation, growing the roller game one scholarship at a time. It's time to join a revolution in roller with US Roller Cup, a premier roller hockey tournament series. The U.S. Roller Cup is led by a passion for the sport. U.S. Roller Cup is driven to create an unparalleled experience for players, fans, and coaches alike. With a focus on promoting roller hockey at all levels from youth to professional, we are committed to growing the game and fostering a sense of community within the roller hockey world. To find out more information, find tournaments near you, or to sign up for an upcoming tournament, go to www.usrollercup.com. And be sure to follow USRC on Instagram at US Roller Cup. US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller.
No offside. We're here with a special guest, Chris Ferrara, owner of Champion Hockey, and of course, my co-host, Justin Wood. How you doing, Chris?
What's up, Chris?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
Good.
Real good.
I don't know how special I am, but I thank you for bringing me on.
No problem. I mean, anytime we can get, a company, owner of a company, someone who reps the company to come on our podcast, we are more than thankful for them. Especially, someone who has made a splash in the scene over the past couple years. So we had to get you on. So,
Thank you.
So Chris, Champion Hockey. Let's talk about the inception of Champion Hockey, how it came around, why you did it.
All right. We'll start from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning.
I grew up playing hockey. I was mostly an ice hockey player. In my early years, it was blasphemous when I was younger to play roller hockey and ice hockey at the same time. But over the years, rollers really gained a lot of momentum and a lot of popularity, and a lot of ice hockey players are starting to see the value in playing both. But I grew up playing ice hockey. After I stopped playing competitively, I did play in college. I played juniors, and I was on the junior B. We lost the nationals in double overtime my last year at juniors, and I had a little stint in the United League. I had a couple offers to try out. I was invited to the Idaho Steelheads camp when I was in college. Unfortunately, I played juniors till I was 21, so my NCAA eligibility, I didn't realize was clicking off, but I needed health insurance. My mom's like, you have to go to school full time, stay on the insurance plan, and you can't be getting your face smashed in playing hockey and not have insurance. So I'm going to school full time, doing my thing, not realizing I'm losing eligibility in the meantime. So when that last year of juniors rolled around, we had a couple scouts come in after our finals game, University of Wisconsin being one of them at the time. He was rebuilding, and he was talking to me and two other players. and we got I got my clearinghouse records back. I was looking more at Yukon, Quinnipiac, and Fairfield at the time, and they're
Closer
like,
to you.
yeah, they're like, you only have 2 years eligibility, you know, so if you want to try out or come as a walk-on, we can't offer you anything. And then I was like, oh man, like, what do you mean? So I ended up playing Division III at Cortland for a year. And that was fun. You know, I had a good time there. I ended up tearing my groin and my hip flexor pretty good. So it took a minute to recoup, but I had the invite to Idaho at the Steelheads camp that year. And I'm like, I can't jeopardize any more of my eligibility. So I didn't go. I figured, hey, I'll just go next year, you know?
Yeah.
Then I got hurt, whatever. So I ended up going to the New Haven Knights, was a new United Hockey League team out of New Haven, Connecticut, and went to their camp and tried. And unfortunately, it didn't pan out all that well. I had an opportunity to go to Baton Rouge, and I'm like, who the hell watches hockey in Baton Rouge, Louisiana? So on to the real world it was. And then that's how I got involved in roller hockey. I started doing lessons and camps and stuff with one of the guys I grew up with over at Skate Safe. So that was my first introduction to roller hockey. And
so I'm looking at your stats right now. I don't know. Guy. I'm a stat guy.
No,
I love stats.
I am old. You guys forget I'm old. I'm going to be 46 in a couple weeks. Like, there was no hockey DB when I was younger. So whatever you're grabbing is like the last of my career.
So it is your NCAA D3 stats.
Oh, there we go.
And so it is from Sunny Cortland, 1999 to 2000.
That's me.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if you can tell me if this is true. This tells me 0 goals, 2 assists, 13 PIMs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, attaboy.
So like
I like that.
Yeah. So I just I have a hard time looking at these stats and because it's basic like well, you have regular season plus postseason. You average 0.2 points per game.
Yeah. If you could pull up my stats from juniors, there's a lot of PIMs in that.
Nice.
In that division.
Yeah, so like I just real quick searched it up, and on Elite Prospect, it's only given me just your 1 year of college.
Yeah.
I was hoping for more, but I guess they only go back so far. We might have to dust off the books.
There's no Google me for 46-year-olds, unfortunately. I come up as a rock star, apparently.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, juniors, I think I had like 26 fights.
Nice.
There's a handful of videos out there somewhere of me fighting. But they're on VHS, so you have to convert them to DVD and then upload them.
Hey, you get them to me, I'll get it done.
So,
I love a good fight video.
Yeah. So you were saying, so you didn't get the opportunity after you got injured and stuff like that, and then you were talking about kind of like you started going roller hockey. I mean,
started getting involved in roller after that, and played over the years. Now fast forward, I don't know however many years later, COVID hits, and I'm a heavy player. I'm 215 pounds. I come from ice hockey, so I'm very hard on my wheels. I want grip because I'm used to having edges to stop. I hate, like we were talking about with Nashville, the surface gets so temperamental with outdoor facilities. So I really was looking for the most grip without breaking or chunking wheels. So I was using rink rats. I kind of found they were the most durable for the grip for me. And during COVID, we were having a hard time getting wheels. Ice hockey was shut down. Roller hockey, we were still playing. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but we were still operating somehow during COVID as in the roller world. And but we were having a hard time getting supplies. So I start looking into it, and I'm going, there's really only like 3 wheel companies in this space. Like, it's Lebeda, Conix, and Rink Rat. That's it. Like, there's no other options. So I started doing some research. I owned a restoration company. I specialized in doing restoration contents, dry cleaning. I had a dry cleaning facility. If somebody had a fire or a flood, I would go and clean their clothes, their area rugs, their shoes, their handbags. So that was like my day job. So I kind of always had a business sense about me. I had a couple other products I had brought to market and a couple other businesses I had run. So I was like, we need some more people in this space. Like I need to find a company to make wheels for me. And started doing some research, a little due diligence, and found a company here in the States. And that's when I launched the Trophy and the Gold Series wheels. They were based off of a rink rat style wheel because I wanted something that was going to hold up to my weight and my, my hardness on the edges. So those are both, unipore, single pour, solid hub, solid urethane style wheels. And that's where it started. And then, I really got some good feedback. Other opportunities started to arise with other, products to add into the library, and started doing the sticks, and we started doing uniforms and bags. And now we got tape, we got bearings, we got, hockey shells, we got hockey uniforms, we got wheel bags, backpack bags, duffel bags. So we're full gamut now. Everybody always asks, are you gonna make a helmet? So the helmet to me is like, I don't know. There's an unwritten rule. Like nobody should touch a helmet. Warrior kind of got it. They were kind of okay looking. But do you guys remember the mission helmets that came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that had the helmet had a mullet. It was like the plastic fanned out in the back. It was like, come on. And some of the other ones over the years, it just kind of looks, it looks like a circumcision. It's like,
so if you do, because no. Here's the thing, though. Think about it. The 4500's dead.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys do like that lid.
Yes, I'm one of them.
Yeah, I would have to get that exact mold because, I mean, look at Pat LaFontaine. He's a Hall of Famer. He's, that guy's got a name behind him in the hockey world, and his helmet is still not mainstream. I think I made a faster impact into the hockey community than he has. It's just, it's one of those things you got to look good. I'm sorry, but Valor and CCM have the helmets on lock. It's just, that's my opinion. So I'm
a Valor guy, and that's the thing is like, after my helmets get too scuffed up and I can't wear them, I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because I've only worn 4500s for 15, 20 years. So I have no clue. Yeah. Well, that's if I can find the color I want too.
Yeah.
And the size. And so I'm like, at the same time, I'm going, I got to be careful with my helmet. So if Champion does want to dabble in the helmet scene, I'll just give you the mold of my head. I'll ship it to you.
We got the one-off Dandy edition.
I am your poster boy.
Yes, you are. We have recycled your photo many a times, but
Easter Bunny head. I mean, that's my favorite one.
The Easter Bunny. Happy Easter.
Yeah.
You know what it is? You're the only photo we really have, like straight on, full uniform, matching helmet. I have photos of people with black helmets on, green helmets on, or they don't have the pants on, because a lot of times it's at the tournaments and it's, we're putting teams together to be competitive and, trying to get a good mix of people to have a good showing and to support the venue. So there's always going to be, that mismatch. But yeah, your photo is, it's stand the test of time so far.
Hey, what can I say?
I don't like using photos of myself either, so you have that on me. Otherwise,
that's funny. Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. I like it. It's my company, but I don't feel like I should use my photo. I don't know. It's one of those things.
I get it.
I just feel weird doing it. It's like, oh, look at Chris posting his photo again. It's like, who wants to see me? Nobody. They'd rather see PJ or Kraft or.
Well, I'll tell you what. If PJ's dressed the nines and champion stuff, I'm jumping in front of every photo, and this way he can't out poster boy me.
Well, we got some new unis coming for the February Winter Nationals for the US Roller Cup. So look for the Legacy unis. They're coming. We're gonna do something totally different for that event. And
I can't wait.
We got 2 solid squads going down there. So it should be fun.
Now we'll get to US Roller Cup in a bit, but you mentioned the Trophy Series and the Gold Series wheels, and that's the kind of the ones that I personally have been using for it's been I don't know close to a year now, probably close to a year. And I use them outdoor on our asphalt rink here in Asheville, and then I also use them indoor for tournaments. And so I can say, because you said like you're a stout guy, right? I'm like 220 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've had like wheels that were super grippy and super fast, but because I stopped so hard and I use my edges, I like in one tournament, and I'm not gonna name the wheel because it doesn't matter because it was a good wheel. Right. I can't bash them, but because of my weight, in one tournament I ripped out 6 wheels, and I was like, "These are great wheels, but I can't use them."
Yep, I had the same thing. That happened to me at Winter Wars. I blew out 4 wheels in 2 games, and I went to Thompson, and I'm like, "Greg, like, you got something that's gonna hold me up because I'm afraid I'm gonna break an ankle at this point. You know, I'm doing big wide turns because I don't want to stop. It's like, where's Chris going? Oh, there he goes. He's turning into the corner. You know, there was no stopping and starting. You just want to have that confidence. So we got a lot of good feedback about the wheels holding up outdoors as well. As long as you rotate them, you know, once you start to see a little bit of wear, flip them around, they'll last.
That's what that's why. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, I was gonna say I use the gold for outside, and I use the trophies for when I play indoor because I'm a little bit lighter than you guys.
Oh, sure, rub it in.
I don't think it's fat. I think it's muscle mass when I'm looking at your guys' shoulders.
These are shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I can say like, because a lot of guys try going to asphalt wheels in our league, but they have so much weight to them, and they're so heavy. And me personally, I couldn't do it, and so I had to find a wheel. And I'm glad that you came out with champion wheels because once I got a sample of them when I played in that tournament, the first tournament, when you sponsored our team or whatever and gave us wheels, and you know it was great. I appreciate that because it got me on the champion kick. And so you know I started use them there, and then I used them outdoors, and like I probably get several months out of them playing outside. And yes, I rotate them because I don't want a sharp edge.
Right.
So
they do wear, but they won't break.
Yeah, and so I've gotten guys that are like, and you know, everyone comes to me. There's usually people ask me like, "Hey, what wheel do you use, or what wheel do you recommend for outside?" And I'm like, "Champion." I said, "It's gonna hold up." I said, "I've gotten the long-lasting duration out of these wheels longer than any other wheel. Like you can, you know, people will sit there and they buy brand new skates, and you know they come with all these expensive wheels on it, and I'm like, that's great. They're good wheels, but at the same time, it's like you're going to use those good wheels outside. They're done in a month.
Yeah.
And so, you know, people look at me and they go, okay, well, you stop hard and you stop on the dot outside with these wheels. And they're like, okay, let me get some. Okay, fine. I get you some. So, you know,
I got to hook you up with a set of our ABEC 11 bearings too, because they have a coating on the cases. It's like a rubberized coating, so they don't rust. They're nice and quiet. They're nice and smooth. But for outdoor settings or guys that just don't air their skates out, they won't rust out.
Okay.
The balls are stainless, so you know we should have a consistent non-rust bearing, and they're easier to clean. I looked into that more because the rink up here that we play at, let's just say maintenance isn't their top priority. So our wheels look like powdered donuts, like 5 seconds into skating. And
I feel like that's most indoor rinks these days, though.
Yeah, it could be.
And so I just think that's the one thing is that a lot of places drop the ball is just take a dry mop to the rink.
Yeah.
You don't need this fancy Zamboni to drive around and pick it up.
Just vacuum.
Vacuum, dry mop it, you know, do something. Just do something.
it seems like the still mat surface. I love the still mat. I don't know. Some people like it. Some people hate it.
I love it for the speed.
In the indoor facility, I absolutely love it. The feel of it, the speed. I love the puck because it's a little heavier coming from ice hockey. I don't have the best hands. So when I was playing on an IDS and that thing was super light, I was like staring at my stick the whole time because it's like, am I allowed to curse on this show?
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's like it was like fucking with a condom on. Like you can't feel it, So I'm like looking. Is it there? Is it on my stick? Because I'm not that. I'm not a Kraft. I'm not a DiMartino brother. Like my hands they're subpar. Okay, so the still mat puck with a little extra weight, I at least know it's there. I could feel it. But I even feel like it stays flat. But when it's dirty, and the triangle pattern seems like the wheels wear faster and the pucks even wear, like the pegs on the pucks. So I feel like that triangle pattern they have, still mat, it does create a little bit more dust than some of the other sport surfaces in the past. It's just observation. We're always trying to see what's going on with the product, with other products. For future, how do we change and tweak and make things a little bit better, like a coated bearing, to kind of resist the dust a little bit more.
So is there a champion puck coming out then?
No, certain things we stay away from. No, because you know what, still mat, if you're using a still mat surface and use the still mat puck, I mean, we don't need to recreate the wheel of the puck here.
No, yeah. I mean, you have Rocket Puck, you have IDS, you have still mat, the three top ones, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a couple like, as much as it's great for like just stick handling anywhere, the Green Biscuit's not for a game.
Right.
So, but it's got the weight to it, and you can you see people with their social media stuff stick handling it anywhere in the park, on concrete, on asphalt. That's great. It's got its purpose. It's got its little niche for the market.
Great training. We have a few here in our warehouse. We have a sport court in the back here to kind of like test and shoot, train a little bit, and they're great training tools. Yeah,
and so you look at it and you go, can you make a better puck than what's already out there that's been around for 20-something, over 20 years? And it's like, and like you said, is it worth it?
Right.
So
the bearings, that's a great idea.
What's that?
The bearings sound like a great idea, especially for people like us that are always playing outdoor, because there's way more elements involved, and it'd be nice to have the extra protection.
Well, and I know a ton of people who just do not air their stuff out. I can't stand. I'm religious with it. I get home, I got cubicles, and I just put my gear in it, and and then I also take a little Febreze to it. I'm like, this stuff's gonna smell good. And then I got my brother, for instance, does not air his stuff out, just throws his bag, and then he goes, "Oh, it's all wet." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, your helmet screws are rusting. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He also sleeps with jugs of milk, so
that is too. There's other reasons why he falls asleep with jugs of milk, though.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna scale to a couple other products probably in the future. We just expanded the stick line. We have the legacy wheel coming out. So our philosophy with the trophy and the gold eventually was to come out with a clear urethane wheel, because like anything else, there's a shoe for every foot. Some guys didn't like the trophy wheels. Some guys didn't like the Gold Series wheels. The lighter guys, or like the choppier skaters, didn't seem to like them as much because of their skating style or their weight. They weren't able to get the benefit of the wheel. For you and I, we have a wheel that lasts, and that's giving us some grip because we're heavier. So some of the lighter skaters, weren't really too happy about it. My goal, though, is I want to be able to have a product that's going to last. So we've been working over the past year on how do we create that clear urethane style that's going to hold up and still give the grip and the balance and the rebound without sacrificing durability. So the legacy wheels, you guys will see, they're going to be dropping. I should have them ready to ship next week. Okay. At least the 76s and the 80s will be ready. We went with a solid hub as well as the other trophy and gold, but the hub is bored out, which we've seen in the past. It's a bored out hub. And then we have the clear urethane pour, just single pour. So the urethane's able to intertwine into the hub so that it won't flex as much, which will reduce the breakage. And it'll also give the rebound when you're skating. So the hub will absorb some of that and it won't be mushy.
Nice.
Some of the other wheels out there that don't have a dual pour, or the dual pour has a harder urethane core, and then the softer urethane pour goes over it. That's good in the sense of the flex and the rebound, but there's only a small amount of adhesion when you have the solid pour in the middle and then you have the soft pour on the outside. There's only this much grabbing the hub, and these never really like adhere to each other. So that was one thing that we learned, is that the two different pores, the urethane never really like adheres to each other. So that's why that breakage and that chunking happens, because of the adhesion to each other and to the hub. So we went with the solid hub. We bored it out so that the urethane will intertwine into the hub. It'll all be one solid unit, but we have the softness of the clear urethane, which is a different, it's a different type of urethane. So it does give a different feel. A lot of guys like that. So PJ's been using those. He just used those out in Arch. There was a video floating around of him like really muscling through somebody, going around the net and then passing it out to Scooter, who buried it. Nice. And that was a real testament to the Legacy wheel, because he's been skating on those prototypes for, I want to say, at least 8 weeks. And he plays 2-3 nights a week and playing P-Hop. So he's got some good usage out of those wheels, and for them to still grip out there under that type of competition I'm super excited about it. So good. I think everybody, when they finally land, people are going to be excited about them too.
Yeah. So is this, because we talked about weight and everything, is this for all weights, or is this kind of for lighter people?
Yeah, no, I've been on them. I'll definitely be using them going forward. Some of the rinks, they're almost too grippy. I went down the High Line for a tournament. The Trash Pandas put together an Ironman tournament, and they're one of our teams. They buy a ton of stuff. I love the Trash Pandas. Those guys are great. So we had to represent. So we brought a squad down, but High Line's so clean and that surface is so grippy that I had to put trophies in the back and I put the Legacies up front, just because it was too much grip for me. But I have another player, pro player. He was playing with the Aces. Dan Diorio was testing the Legacies as well, and I don't know his exact weight, and I don't want to say it over the air because some guys get a little, we don't want to embarrass anybody. So, but he was a heavier, harder skater, and I'm like, here, you're going to be the other guy to test these with me on the higher end of the scale, on the weight scale, and he's had no problems, and he's been using them for 6-8 weeks as well. So we're recommending, players up to 225. We could probably push 250, but we don't want to advertise 250 and then find out later on. But it's for all skaters. The lighter skaters are going to have that rebound and that flex and grip, and the heavier skaters will get that durability out of it.
All right, good. I can stop doing cardio now. Whew.
Yeah. Get off the Atkins diet.
But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. You have the Legacy coming out, you have the sticks coming out, which is all about gold, which is great. Yeah. So can't wait to see those and get my hands on some of them. Now, is there anything, you got, obviously Legacy is just kind of new for this year. I mean, what's the future of Champion?
So the only other thing we may expand into is gloves. Like I said, I'm staying away from helmets. The glove market may be something we dive into, but that probably won't be till next year.
Okay.
Other than that, we're pretty good with the 3 different wheels. We have the 2 different style sticks now. The Gold Series sticks are similar to a Hyperlight, so that's a rounded shaft. Joey DiMartino's using those over in France. He loves the rounded shaft. PJ uses the Legacy style, which is the square shaft. The Stealth essentially became the Legacy, and then the Gold Series is like a Hyperlight style. So that'll be our round. And all the sticks are available, mid and low kick, and different flexes, different curves, customization. We put your name and number on them. We could do team orders where if you want your logo, your colors, we have a bunch of ice hockey programs doing it. We did the NYPD. That's actually the stick behind. Oh no, it's not.
No, that's the OG champion in the USA one.
That's the OG. That's autographed by the Chicklets guys that we
Nice.
did it. Yeah, we did that at the NYPD game. They autographed that and a couple NYPD sticks for us. So yeah, we could do your logo, your colors, names, really customize it to your team. So, but yeah, speaking of Chicklets, those guys are great. We were up in Buffalo. We had a team up there. Really just trying to get out there and see different players, different markets, different surfaces, different venues. And we're super excited about the US Roller Cup coming up in February, the Winter Nationals. We love growing the game, and that's really been the success of Champion, I think, is just trying to get out there and get involved with everybody. We got behind the Black Ice Pro team early on. Again, I have a personal relationship with some of those guys because we all skate out of the same rink here in New York. So it was an easy fix. I played junior hockey with Jay Muro's brother, Jesse. So I've known of Jay for a really long time, but Jay and I known each other now for years. So it was a good fit. It was a good way for us to really get out there, get some good feedback, grow the name, grow the brand. And you make adjustments. We have to be diverse in what we do so that we're not pigeonholed into one organization or one program. Kind of spread the wealth a little bit. We got more involved with. I enjoy sponsoring the men's league teams. The Trash Pandas, the Pirates, the guys down in Carolina, and we have a bunch of different programs now where the guys are excited about it, and they're always posting about it. So we like to mix it up a little bit and get involved with everybody and grow the game. The girls, we've been heavily involved in the girls programs. Yeah. So we just try to do what we can.
Help us out with that. We're trying to get some of the girls on the show.
If you have any connections, we would love to have some women roller hockey players.
Absolutely.
Come on the show, and because we stand behind US Roller Cup and the Women's Roller Foundation, and expanding, especially with trying to get women's college roller active in this nation, because I honestly, roller hockey's been late on women's roller. I mean, it's just started recently in the past few years, started to kind of support them, and you can say better late than never, but there's so many talented women out there.
Absolutely.
So many.
And they're good. Sushi, I don't know if anybody knows Sushi, but Sushi played Black Ice Women's with Kyla, and they had the Black Ice team. We had gotten behind them early on. But she plays on our ice hockey team, our men's ice hockey team, and she plays in our roller league. And she's right there with everybody. I mean, she's burying goals. I think we won the championship the other night. I think she might have had a goal or two the other night. Some of these women's players, they're legit. My sister-in-law was the captain of the Yale girls hockey team. Sean Carney plays here. His wife she had the women's pro program, and now she's a scout for, who's she scouting for? Edmonton, I think.
Okay.
So it's nice to see the women getting involved too and having the opportunity within the NHL and pro now. I mean, the pro women's.
Oh, the US, what is it? The PWHL, yes. And and that's the one thing I can't say enough about. The broadcast is fantastic.
Yeah.
They started out right. They started out with quality broadcast. It's simple. They put it out for free on YouTube. Anyone can watch it. They're selling out barns like crazy.
Girls are playing hard. They're mucking it up a little bit.
They just got to drop the gloves.
Yeah, well, a couple of them have come close. I've seen a couple scuffles where it looked like they were ready to go. The one thing they're lacking is the uniforms.
Yeah. Well, and they said
little plain, but
year one they said would be the city, and then year two they'd actually have names and stuff like that, which I understand. You know, so the one thing I can say is, and I understand it. You know, it's a business side, like what because the New York team, and I've watched a couple of their games, and so they played out on in the Islanders barn, maybe last week or something like that.
yeah, yep,
You know, and the one thing is, I get it's a big place.
yep.
But it's just, you know, and I get having to pay for concessions and stuff like that. But seeing the empty seats below the camera, kind of, you know, to me, I'm like, we could have done something there.
Move everybody down. Yeah.
Well, because I think they only sold out the far side behind the benches.
Okay.
I don't think they did the entire rink.
Right.
So I think they just did the bottom half of like what's in the camera angle at center ice, and like from corner to corner, maybe even behind the nets and around the corner. But the close side, it didn't look like there was anyone sitting over there.
I thought they sold the second row too. So
They possibly did.
not only did they have the ice side, but they had the second row. But yeah, move everybody from the second row down so they're
put them in like that's me nitpicking, right? But otherwise, broadcasters fantastic,
been great.
video
Best thing
camera.
ever, the jailbreak rule, love it.
Yes,
Shorthanded goal, get your guy out.
Yeah.
I think it's a phenomenal idea.
and USRC's doing it
Yeah.
because it became so
That's what I
popular.
was gonna say.
Yep, I think it's a great idea. I'm a huge fan of it. We were kind of chirping the refs the other night about it because we got a penalty called, and we're like, so if we score, we get our guy out, right? Jailbreak, women's rules. And then we scored, and they're like, no, you can't do it. It's not USA hockey rules.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, I love seeing I just love the growth of hockey, roller hockey in general, because once I stopped playing ice hockey, I just fully dove into roller, and that's been my focus. And especially, you know, in Asheville, run a hockey league here, and so, you know, I want to do everything I can to help and support people in my area, but also kind of just grow the sport anywhere else and make a tournament better if I'm able to. And so, you know, like I said, the one place where it's building but it's lacking is women's roller.
Yeah.
And so, you know, anything we could do, whether it's, you know, Women's Roller Foundation or, you know, just supporting more teams and getting more teams in the tournaments, and, you know, getting young women into roller hockey and getting them to play and you know, because our league has, I think there's a family of 3 daughters and all 3 of them play in our youth league. And then there's, I don't know, I want to say that between maybe 6 to 10 in that range girls in our youth league, which is fantastic to see.
Right.
And so, you know, we also have one that actually, because ice hockey in our area, you have to travel regardless. There's no close ice rink. And then also traveling is to Atlanta, to Nashville, and up to Virginia. So we have one parent that actually on the weekends brings her daughter down to Florida to play a competitive ice hockey league.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. I mean, and she's good. She's got a lot of grit. Even when she was playing in the youth against the boys, and wasn't the tallest, she would grind them into the corner. Like, it was talking. Justin, you know Ellie, right?
Yeah. That's who I thought you were talking about.
Yeah. She's good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's
getting bigger. It's
yes.
Definitely. And we'll take this offline. I'll try to introduce you to a couple people we could get on the show. But yeah, it's growing. I mean, there's some good programs up here. Ice hockey, women's ice hockey, and yeah, it's nice to see the game grow. It just builds the fan base, builds the competitive, you know, nature of guys and girls, and just something for kids to do, you know, outside of soccer or the typical high school sports. You know, it's a good outlet.
Oh yeah.
Now I kind of want to transition into, I mean, I'm seeing the jersey on the wall, right? So you recently played for Team USA.
Right.
And so I kind of want to, you know, you went over to, was it Italy?
We went to Italy. Yep. Brunica, Italy.
So yeah, I kind of want to hear your experience of playing and, you know, going over to Italy and playing with those guys, and because it just seems like a fun time.
So it was an absolute blast. It was probably one of the best things I've done in my life, but definitely in a long time. brought me back to my junior years of just the team camaraderie and the travel and the competitiveness. It was a great experience. It really was. It was my first time. Apparently they've had these World Game Masters going on for a few years now. It was my first time because I just turned 45, so I was eligible to play with the 45 team, and I got asked to play, and I was pretty honored because I really, I knew of it, didn't know much about it, but then after, I heard what was going on, I was really into it, and I'm looking forward to next year. Well, this year, it's going to be in Spain.
Okay.
But yeah, I turned 45, and a couple of the guys that are on the squad had said to me, like, there's a couple open spots. We'd like to get you in now that you're 45. So I was like, yeah, let me know. I'm down. And we went over there, and we had some guys from the Midwest, which was ironic because going back to my last year at Junior B, we lost in double overtime. We actually lost to a couple of guys that I played with on the USA team.
Okay.
So some of those guys played for Motor City and for the Junior Blues, which two of the teams I played against in my last year at Junior Nationals. So we just all came together real quick, had great chemistry. And unfortunately, we didn't take the gold. They, for whatever reason, which I think they're changing it this year, they had a shootout for the gold medal game.
So, I saw that, yes. And that is what kind of like bizarre. It was bizarre.
No overtime?
We played 1 20-minute overtime period, I think it was.
And then a shootout?
And then it went to shootout. So we lost to France, we tied them during the round robin. And then we were beating them. And it was a last minute, I think it was like almost a minute of my defense mechanisms, like blocking that memory out now. I think it was like a minute left or a minute 26 left. Ended up going off Kern's skate or his stick and deflecting in. It tied it up, put us into overtime. We played like 20 minutes of overtime, and then they're like, shootout. And we're like, what? Shootout. So, yeah, we lost to France in a shootout, so we took the silver.
That's a tough one. I mean, no championship game should be decided in a skills, like individual skills competition.
Absolutely not. I agree. And you know what? It came down to attrition, really, because I thought Kern is a machine. I mean, Derek Kern, I played with Derek my whole life, like growing up playing against him. He was with Applecore. I was with the Royals and PAL. He went to Oswego. I went to Cortland. Like we played each other there. That's actually where I tore my groin and my hip flexor in that game. I've known Derek a long time, and he was just an absolute machine. I think he played like 18 and a half minutes of the 20-minute overtime. And then he played for the 38 team that won the gold right after us. So he was just like, the kid was, I don't know where he got the energy from. Like I was tired watching him. And,
mustard packets.
Yeah. But, the goalies were really getting peppered at the end, and it was hot in the rink because this was an Olympic size ice rink that they put still mat over. So we're in the summertime and there's really no air conditioning. The air conditioning was the rink chiller.
Yeah.
So it was warm in there. As a matter of fact, like JP Susko, he was the goalie for the 38 team. He was the gold medal winning goalie for the 38s. He needed an IV after one game. Scott Sloan needed an IV after one game. I mean, those goalies got 60 pounds of equipment on, and no exaggeration, it was probably 90, 95 degrees in the rink at some points.
Well, it's the European way, man. Like, when I go to Germany every now and then to visit family, unless you stay in a modern hotel, there's no AC.
Yeah.
You go to people's flats, right, or their houses, and there's no AC. It's windows are open. It's 95 degrees out. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. We stayed in Venice a couple nights before we went up to Brunica, and we got an Airbnb, and it was like an apartment, and there was one air conditioner in like the kitchen area, And then it was like 2 fans in the bedrooms. And I was like, I must have lost 6 pounds the 2 nights just sleeping, sweating, sleeping. Because the air conditioner wasn't even big enough. And they must like turn down the electric at night. So like you could hear the air conditioner going from like woo to like that thing's barely working at this point. It's like almost like they turn the knob down. They're like, all right, you're not going to get as much wattage right now. But,
I mean, what'd you guys do like in between games or like when your games were done for the day? I mean, would you just go around Italy and kind of do touristy things or?
Well, the schedule was pretty tight in the midweek. So we got there, we had 1 practice day. Then the next day we had a late game. The 38s played 2 games that day, but we were also cheering on the other team. So just to swing back to what the World Games Masters are with Miwa, there's a 38 and over team division, a 45 and over, and a 50 and over, which there was talks about raising the age group from 50 to 52 or 55 because guys are aging up. So to make things bigger, but they didn't do it yet. It stayed 50. So we had 3 USA teams out there. And so a lot of the time we were rooting each other on, but the village was really, really nice. It's like a ski village, bunch of really nice restaurants, very German theme up in northern Italy. You could tell by like the architecture, the food. So we would go get something to eat, and then head back to the rink to watch, one of the other teams. And we had a really good 50 and over team. They took bronze. So we took a gold, silver, and bronze. The 38s won the gold. Nick Hamilton, the owner of Car Shield, he was kind of the coach of the 38 team. And there was a bunch of Car Shield guys naturally. JP was the captain there. And they pretty much dominated the whole tournament. We had a great showing with our team. And then the 50 and over team, we had the Lebeda brothers from Lebeda, and Rob Charmond was on that team. Yes. So they had a big West Coast presence with the Lebeda brothers and Rob and, a few of those guys, but they were a really strong 50 and over team. The heat, I think, got to them. There was 2 players that played both 45 and 50s. So I think between playing both divisions and the heat, like kind of wore on them a little bit. I think they enjoyed themselves a little bit more than some of us did.
Late nights?
Yeah, I think they had a late night.
I mean, you're in Italy. I mean, the wine.
In Rome, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, a really good showing. So we had the 3 divisions, and so we spent a lot of time rooting each other on. We did a lot of meals and stuff together. At least our team, but there was times where we were with the 50s and the 38s. The food in the rink was phenomenal. I think I had the best gnocchi I've had ever at the rink. They would put out a buffet spread, and there was salad and pasta, and really the food at the rink was good. I mean, it wasn't your typical snack bar. It was an actual restaurant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we did get to go on a bike tour through the mountains, which was really cool. There were electric bikes, and I
was gonna say you're pedaling a bike.
It's going. Yeah, it's kind of a unique feel because it's like you start pedaling and all of a sudden the thing takes off and you're like, whoa, okay, here we go. But you need it. Going up some of these mountains, you're in like the Swiss Alps up there, and it's big ass mountains.
Yeah,
going through tunnels. We saw some Nazi bunker. It was like a fake fiberglass wall of a mountain.
Yeah.
And when you open it up, there was like a whole bunker tunnel situation going on in there. There was a bridge that had like all these these trinket angels, which was really cool to see. It's very religious there. So there was a lot of crosses and like different type of like monument type stuff and just like we passed like 3 churches on the tour. Beautiful architecture. These churches were amazing. Like, really makes you like a believer just seeing these churches and how beautiful they were. But we got to go through these little villages, and it was a cool experience. And Scotty Sloan decided to try to do a Wheel Talk episode on the way down the mountain. That didn't fare too well.
Oh no.
He unfortunately didn't post that episode. So I'd love to know where the footage is. It's got to be recorded somewhere, but it definitely didn't end well. It would have been probably one of America's funniest home videos of Bob Saget.
So he's got to post it.
Yeah, he's got to post it.
I don't know. I think he deleted that thing right away.
Oh,
there had to be a lot of tumble in it. His phone was a little banged up. He was a little banged up, but he was safe. He was fine. He ended up playing the next day, and he was all good. So,
that's awesome.
Memories, it was just something to laugh about later on.
We actually had a question from the chat about you're playing in Italy. They were wondering what the fan atmosphere was like there.
It actually was. It was pretty cool. There was a lot of local Italians that came and watched. We had a good fan base ourselves. There was a lot of families that came for the trip. So a lot of the wives were there supporting all the teams too, which was nice. Some of the other teams had some fan base as well. Like Canada had a few wives there and some, family members. England. So, I mean, it wasn't a packed stadium, but there was a good mix of people. And for the finals, there was definitely a lot of people in the stands, especially for the 38 game. It definitely drew some local people. They tried to time it, especially with the Italian team, that they played at like prime time. So they got like the 5, 6 o'clock games, 7 o'clock games. And it seemed to help draw a little bit of more of a fan base. So definitely a good experience.
Yeah, it's so, because I know going to I've been around Germany, and I've had they have the Dell rinks in like certain small towns, right? Was that rink specifically like a professional league rink?
Yeah, it was a pro Italian team
Okay.
rink. There was a pro Italian team. I forget the name of them, but yeah, it was their home facility. So there was 2 Olympic size rinks. One was a full stadium inside, and then the other rink was partially outside. So it was stadium walls all the way up. And then there was probably, I want to say 15, 20 feet of open air. So you could see when you're skating, you could look out and see the mountains.
Oh, that's cool.
You could see the snow-capped mountains and stuff. And then there was a canopy over it. So it was great because you were contained enough that the elements weren't getting to you, but you still had that open feel and that like ambiance where you're skating and you're looking up and you're like, wow, I'm in the middle of the mountain. Like this is really cool. It's something like some of these other facilities here in the States should think about, where you have some sort of protection from the elements when you have a canopy. Like even Nashville, if they had some sort of retractable wall or awning where the wall's lowered down, when it's
we
raining.
talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you spend $4 or $5 million, and then because
when it rains,
because they wanted such big fans in their rink for airflow and humidity purposes, which I understand.
Right,
they had to go higher peak, which hurt them so much.
Yeah, but mean, if you put canvas walls, what would it hurt? Or retractable, some sort of retract. It doesn't even have to come all the way down. It's just got to come down enough that the angle blocks the elements from actually hitting the rink or getting close to the concrete, so that you don't feel it as a player out on the rink where it doesn't get slick.
Well, and then you look at it too, and you go, the goalies are getting one side, depending on how the temperatures, the one goalie on the one side is getting baked.
Yeah,
it's like
that happened to us at Chicklets Cup in Buffalo. They actually put foam like gymnastics bumpers, and we couldn't go into the corners because there was puddles. So it was, it was a canopy over the rink, but the rain was coming down so hard at such an angle that it literally flooded out the corners. So we couldn't even go into it. That was an interesting experience.
No skating zone.
Yeah, they moved the nets up, and it was like a concrete coated surface. It wasn't like a sport court or anything. So it was super grippy when it was hot, and you might as well have had, no skates on ice, and there was no grip at all.
Now the Chicklets Cup was like an indoor-outdoor feel, right?
Yeah, Again, 2 rinks that had canopies over them. The deck hockey ones that they set up outside, those were completely open. Those they set up in the parking lot. Those were, portable rinks. But the 2 main rinks had canopies, but they had no walls. And we got smoked on both of them from the rain.
Yeah.
So,
And they both have just polished concrete, right?
yes. Supposedly last year there was a sport court on one and concrete on the other. There was no sport court this year. It was both.
What do you think about that concrete?
I don't mind it if it's warm and not wet. When it was wet, I thought I was going to kill myself. I fell so bad. I had a bruise on my hip for like a month because I fell so hard that it just wouldn't go away.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know the one rink that I know that it has super social media presence is the Orlando rink that's outside, and they have a canopy and it's polished concrete. And then there was another one in, I think, Texas that eventually actually got a rink and put sport court down. I've never played on polished concrete, so obviously anything that's covered I will take.
Yeah.
But this outdoor that we play on, it sucks because it's weather watch for all day.
You're totally outside.
Yes.
Totally.
No roof at all.
Right next to a river.
Right. Yeah. Right. In a floodplain.
Oh, so how has the weather been down there the past couple of weeks?
All the rain that we've got, you've got.
Okay. Yeah. Because usually travels right up the coast here.
And so we actually, luckily, since they've redone, we have like I usually say this wrong, and Justin, you can correct the velonundrum, is it?
Velodrome.
Velodrome, that's it.
Okay.
And so they put a brand new velodrome around the rink. It used to be asphalt. They made it concrete, and it was an old. Our rink is where an old NASCAR circuit was, and so they have like a whole little monument on people who were there with pictures and stuff like that on the outside. But now it's bike racing, and on the inside is our hockey rink, plus like a playground and then volleyball courts. And so. But yeah, and so since they've redid that, like we got 4 to 5 inches of rain last week. Everything else flooded, not our rink, thankfully. I mean, we had probably at least like 8 years ago before they redid it all. We actually it flooded so bad because the river came in, and I think it was maybe up past the entire rink was covered up past the yellow dashes at the bottom of the boards.
Yeah.
So, and it was like a pond.
But you didn't get any snow, right?
We haven't gotten snow in like 2 years.
I think Nashville got snow this weekend.
Yeah, they got pounded, but then it hits the mountains and then it breaks up and then we get nothing.
Yeah.
Usually if we get snow here, it's going to be good when it comes from the south.
Yeah.
It comes straight through Alabama into Georgia and then hits us. But yeah, I mean, we bought a rink. We bought one of the Pittsburgh rinks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have it. We just have nowhere to put it right now.
Gotcha.
So that's what we're working on as a league, is our next plans for that, and hopefully we can get it done. And so this way, we could always do the Champion Coliseum.
Yeah. We're going to be in need of some more facilities up here too. The problem is like the taxes in New York are just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
We don't get any type of incentives, even if it's for youth development. And the amount of square footage you need for a rink or 2 rinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking $80,000 a month in taxes alone. Like,
yep. Being from Jersey, I know that feeling, man. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I got out. I'm not paying $10,000 in taxes, property taxes. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, that's our next steps here. And yeah, I would love to see, because roller hockey is revitalizing, and instead of rinks being torn down, I want to see more built.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could talk to the local county or even the state parks, see if they'll do something where they'll build a canopy for you somewhere in one of the parks, and then you guys can put the rink in and work out some sort of lease. Or
yeah.
What they do up here on like state land is you give them a percentage. So if you only make, $5 that year, they only get 50 cents. If they make 500,000 the next year, they get 50 grand. It's based on percentage, but it works out a little bit better because then you're not, the overhead isn't so high and you could scale it up. But who knows? Maybe you could petition the county to put the rink in, or at least the canopy for you to put the rink in with the bed, and give you some sort of lease agreement, for children's development. And
I mean, it's definitely on our radar to reach out to the county, and we are looking at some other options that we're unsure if it's going to work out or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, it's definitely an option. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Because Asheville is a destination area, right? So, we want it actually to be a destination roller spot.
Right.
And so whether we can start with one rink and then eventually get another rink, because like USRC wants to, would eventually like to, host a tournament here if we're able to. We have the Cherokee casino an hour from us, right? People can go spend time at the casino and then come play hockey. It was beer capital of the world,
right?
For a little while. Yeah, there's so many microbrews, and so and then also restaurant industry the food is amazing here as well. So,
you could have the ultimate beer league if one of those breweries would let you put the rink outside.
We're trying.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get to someone.
Yeah,
they're so corporate that, like for instance, we got Sierra Nevada, we have Highland Brewing. We got some big hitters in the beer market, but it's so much like Sierra Nevada, for instance. All your emails get sent to California, and then they're like, "Oh, it's not for us."
Right.
So, it's something to think about, but it's definitely going countywide, and county likes heads and beds, and so you can pitch tournaments and stuff like that to them.
Yeah,
but I think we'll talk. Let's go to Wheels and Reels, Justin, and then we can come back and talk a little champion USRC, because I kind of want Chris to release that champion roster.
All right. Did you guys get a chance to pull that video up?
I will.
All right, I'm gonna roll it.
Every time I kill with a quill, some man's anthem on on-brand tantrum, half real, half master.
Where'd you send it?
On beat, made a murder, make him do it like his man son. Y'all see what I see, flow, GoPro, with it, slow growth, made the end of my rope frayed. Yeah, played out with a sauce, finish, small ball, minutes ball, like a cold Guinness. Time stopped on the clock for no flash. See the clock spots for no pass. Drink the ink from every time that I rope flash. So when they leaving the gas, they see the drop to my throat slash. Oh, man, I finished the guac, then I hop on the stage. Hey. I'm running the show, y'all ambitionless actors just jogging in place. Hey. Now they less than a thespian, front that they ballin' above all the mess. We in honor the faller than flex again. When I go pour out my 40 for Regis and Requiem, ooh, bitch, I'm battered, I'm on. Who's from the bout for the bronze? Someone from sounds from the conch. Barnacle boys stay adorned, raising the waves that I poured. Showing my face in the breaks when I'm bored. So they remember the God while they pretending to pray to the Lord. Lyrical lector, I'm picking my brain.
Every episode of No Offsides podcast is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Be a champion.
Actually.
Okay.
And we're back.
Every time I kill with a quill, some man's
and yet again, another great reel by Wheels and Reels. It seems like what's his name in net is always making highlight saves.
Robinson, Charles Schwab.
Charles Schwab. So yeah, he's always on there. So it was nice to see. There's a few snipes in there too. So
yeah, a couple top shelf snipes.
Yeah.
I like the drop pass to an absolute just bar down. It was nice.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, we gonna get that roster release? Because we
could drip it out.
Because we know PJ's on the team.
Yeah, Captain PJ.
Captain PJ.
He's been our champion athlete since day one. So PJ made a few phone calls, brought in a few ringers, and we're bringing in Tyler Kraft and his wife Kyla.
Okay.
So we got some Black Ice connection there. Those two were also part of the champion, inaugural champion athletes. Tyler was a big help too, getting us, out there and connections and down in Florida and getting us down in the South a little bit. We got game-winning 1 second national champ Narch Pro Max Halverson coming down. So another quasi Black Ice guy for the moment anyway. So we got Max, we got Kyla and Tyler Kraft. We got Justin Favallaro, another road runner. We have Scooter Vaughn, who played with the Black Ice guys out in California as well. And then I'm trying to think who is the last couple. Let's see. Do I have it? I left it up to PJ because I told him, this is a big cash prize.
Yeah.
So if you want to go down with 6 guys and try to win this and pocket all the money yourselves, more power to you. But if you're going to play a best of 3 on a Sunday and you guys plan on having a couple cold ones the night before, I don't want you guys losing because it's only 6 guys and you're totally exhausted. So, but I also don't want to suggest anybody because I don't want the guy that I suggested blowing it either. So I left it completely up to P to kind of call in the recruits. So I didn't want to have any influence really because, like I said, I didn't want to be the one that cost them.
You could have just slid in there like, hey, PJ, the only guy I need you to do is my poster boy. And listen, just put him out there when you have a lead.
Oh my God. I hope I didn't insult you with that.
No. When you took, because I was like, who's he got on his team? And then you were like, you started rattling off names, and I was like, yeah, I don't belong on that team.
Yeah, Justin, did you hear the story?
No, tell me.
So Dan shoots me a text, and he's like, wondering if you need another pro guy. So I'm like, who do you have? And he's like, me. And I'm like, well, I think we're all right. I'm like, I got PJ and Max and Tyler. And so he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I hope I didn't, I just thought you were thinking of somebody I don't know why. I just wasn't thinking he was asking for himself.
I was just trying to play 2 divisions.
Yeah. So
I was, and I think it has to do with how you said he's the only one that has that straight on shot with all the gear. He knows how to promote himself.
He does. He does.
He was just making sure if he needed someone.
He wanted to cash out.
Well, listen, if I could
a few goals too.
Yeah, I could put a couple in, and then I could ride the bench, and then they're like, all right, well, I'm like, hey, PJ, just sit on the bench, have a couple beers, you're winning. It's your last game of the day. I got you. I'll go out there, I'll soak up some rink time.
Yeah, I don't know why I was doing a couple different things, and I'm like, oh, who's he got? And he's like, me. I'm like, oh, sorry.
No offense taken. I was like, because once you told me the roster, I was like, I don't belong. So it's all good. It's all good.
So it was nice to see Blood and Feathers posted a video that they're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Black Biscuits got a couple teams coming down, which is nice. So we're excited about the tournament. Again, we're all about getting out there, seeing some new faces, playing some new venues, putting together a couple different teams and different, rosters here and there. It's not always the same. We don't always have the same champion team, but our men's team is pretty solid. So I'm playing in the men's with a couple of the USA guys. We got Mike Enright, Michael Taddeo from the New Jersey Assault. We got Chris Kaz and Mike Francis coming from the Midwest. Hoping Jamie Buffalino is going to be our goalie. He was our goalie out in Italy as well. And we got Benny and DuPont coming from Myrtle Beach. And Johnny's going to come up from Tampa to round out our men's squad. So Again, trying to put together some new faces and new squads and have some fun, and just promote the game.
Yeah, and I think you might have been able to convince Impact, but I think they probably have PHA.
Yeah,
playoffs.
the weekend was getting tough. I don't know if it's that close to PHA. I think it's different weekends, but again, with the travel, it's tough because the PHA, the actual finals are in Colorado. So, if they make it, if either one of those teams make it, they're going to have to travel. So, yeah, it was going to be tough to put together an Impact team or another men's team. I would have loved to have brought another men's team down. But we also brought on Dylan Patnaud from Columbus Heat. So he's now a champion athlete.
Yep.
I would have liked to have gotten him down there, but he's at school. Him and his brother are really good players. And so we'll do something. We're going to go to the Nashers opening up his Columbus Heat arena pretty soon. We're hearing that the completion date should be in March, and they're going to have their first men's tournament in April. So it's that April 13th week. My family's actually in Columbus. My brother-in-law lives like 8 minutes from the rink. So I'm going to bring a team out there, and we're going to go support him in his new venture and, get the champion name out to some of the teams in that area and throw some product around and have some fun, drink some beers. And
yeah. I mean, what you could do while you're in Columbus is you go to the Columbus Blue Jackets roller rink that Nashville loves to skate on, and you get a big enough logo and you put it right over top of the Columbus Blue Jackets logo on the tile.
Yeah.
You just cover that up.
Or I do something sneaky, like throw the trophy in the eye of the Blue Jacket, something that somebody might not pick up right away. And I'll just watch that video, for months. And I'm like, there's the logo right there. A little subliminal message.
I'll have people, like, if they find it, to tag a picture and they can win something. You'll get a ton of.
Yeah.
Well, we got a good story with Mike West. So we got Viral Mike, who's been a huge champion supporter. He's our ambassador. He's our poster boy too.
Well, actually, so starting off too, when Champion started up, and he was going berserk on social media, which is how I found out about Champion originally. I actually thought he was the owner of Champion.
Yeah.
Because of how much he blasted out Champion, and he was doing all this stuff with it. And I was like, who's this Mike West guy?
Yeah, Mike is great. He's a personality. You either love or hate him. Most people love him because he's a good time. But he goes out to Vegas to one of the Chiclets Cups, and he brings a few of our stickers that are like, this big. They're like 2x2 foot squares. And he's slapping them on all the boards out in Vegas. And he almost got kicked out because the one guy came over and he's like, what are you doing? You can't advertise. You didn't pay for that. And he's like, no, it's good. Don't worry. It's all cool. And he's like, the guy's like, no, it's not all cool. Like, you're going to get tossed if you don't stop doing this shit. Like, this is the third sticker we've peeled off the boards. Like, you caught a mid-act, He got a couple of them up, and then they saw them and peeled them off. So I think that was Mike's intro to the Chiclets guys, because then they're like, who's this asshole? Like, what's this guy think he's doing, And
he had the mullet at the time, right?
He had the mullet at the time. And him and I think it was him and Biz kind of like, Biz kind of was like, what are you doing? Like, who do you think you are type of thing at the bar after. And Mike's no slouch. He's a big guy too. Yeah. He's mixed it up in his day. So he's like, I don't care who you are. That's Mike's mentality. He doesn't give a shit. So, but then all of a sudden everybody's cool. So then the next year, Mike goes in and he's a celebrity with them. And then the NYPD game rolls around, and Chiclets is involved with the promotion of that in the FDNY, the Battle of the Badge up here. They played at UBS at the Islanders Barn. And the Chiclets guys see Mike, and they're like, hey, Mike, what's going on? No, come to our suite after. So we're in the Chiclets hanging out. That's how we got all the autographs.
Nice.
And then this year in Buffalo, we actually had Grinelli and RA on our team. So, it all goes full circle, but it's all because of Mike West. Mike's that kind of guy where he's going to put it out there, and he's a big fan. He's using the sticks, he's using the wheels. And I try to bring Mike around as much as possible too. He's got a lot going on with a move and some construction. So, he'll probably be out in Ohio with us. I wasn't able to get him down to Georgia for this one, but like I said, we try to mix it up too and get some new faces with the squad. So this is a totally different mix of guys. So we'll get him on the next one. But yeah, we love Mike West. He went viral with Chicklets with the he did a little mishy in the mid rink, and Grinelli was all over it. He was posting it on their YouTube, on their Instagram, his TikTok. So needless to say, Mike West's head is bigger than it's ever been.
Well, I think we're having him on the pod on February 8th as well.
Oh, you got to get viral Mike on. Yeah, he's got a lot to say.
Good, because I want his side of the story, because I want to now that we have some more information of the shenanigans that he started doing, which got him become a celebrity. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no whole barred with him. And then the best part of that whole thing, like Grinelli even says, I was the one that told Grinelli, I'm like, Mike, no exaggeration. He literally said he was going to do some shit like that, like pull a Mishi or some sort of lacrosse style goal this game and be all over TV. And he goes out, like, it just happened so fast too. He just scooped it and like the goalie didn't even move. The goalie just didn't even react till after, and he was so mad. He's like, the goalie came over after the game. He's like, "Who's the guy that pulled that?" He's like, "I was totally not even expecting it," and just ripped the corner.
Well, yeah, it's from the freaking blue line.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, so that's funny, because we're definitely get him on, and we'll have to pump his ego even more a little bit, Oh,
yeah. He loves shit talking. Our Thursday night league, like he plays the villain role just because he likes getting a rise out of people, and he'll just shit talk everybody. Doesn't care who you are. He shit talks his own wife. I mean, his wife. So get this, his wife, she's great. Stephanie's awesome. We're all friends. So Stephanie gets dressed up for Halloween as Mike West. She puts his Chicklet jersey on and his champion pants, and she puts the mustache and like a little mullet, and she's like, "I'm Mike West."
That's awesome.
She had the Mike West costume. So then we were joking around about, we made like the package.
Yeah.
Comes with Mishy's shit talk, like
that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So
I might have to get on the pod with a mullet and makeshift the makeshift Mike West package.
Absolutely. Get the
we can Mike have the handlebars going.
Yeah, I got to get rid of everything. My wife's going to kill me.
The Mike West starter kit. There you go. We'll get you all set up. But Mike's people, he should be fun to have on the show.
Yeah. But
that looks like a really fun time though at the Chicklets Cup.
It was. They did it right. They really did. I mean, listen, they got big budget, but they had 2 parties for the players, and we got drink tickets. So you got like 1 or 2 beers for free on them. Plus the tournament. The ambiance was great because they had, vendors there. They had beer stations set up. Like, it was a beer league tournament. It was definitely set up to have some fun. And you could tell the atmosphere was exactly that. You go to State Wars, you go to some of these bigger tournaments and like national tournaments, it's competitive. It's guys are there for a reason. There's guys aren't drinking. Like, they're there to win. It means something. Chicklets Cup, all that everybody just means to go have a good time. Like,
yeah, that's awesome. I mean,
secondary, and the atmosphere is first, and it's great. It's a nice mix. It really is.
Yeah, we're if we can get in, we're planning on doing something like that. Whether it's next year or whatever, because we want to experience that, and so
yeah,
definitely. Did they release where they're doing it next year?
I don't know. I know there was talks of possibly doing one in Canada. As a matter of fact, like there was a representative from Montreal at Buffalo. We met him. He said he's trying to get them up there, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest with you. But we may be putting something together in March. We'll let you guys know. Be on standby.
Okay.
We want to run a big money Ironman prize tournament, and calling it the Mega Man tournament. So look for a little release of the high stakes Ironman tournament here in New York, probably in March before State Wars and the Columbus Cup or
All right.
Columbus Arena. I don't know what they're really calling it.
I'll come up, but I'm tethered to PJ.
Okay. I think you should come up. We have our Thursday night draft league, which is a really good beer league. But it's PJ, Pascali, Greg Thompson, Mike Tardino. Like, you want to rattle off some of the best of the best. Like, we've all played in that. I say I'm seventh rounder these days. But you got some of the best players like in this Thursday night draft league now. It would be cool if you could come up, do the podcast live from the arena somehow, and get some interviews and get some footage.
Well, you know, it's funny you named the man, the myth, the legend of Instagram, Mike Tardino, right? And so we tagged him on one of our posts, and he was like, "Yeah, please don't use my name unless you get permission."
Yeah,
and I was like,
"Keep tagging him."
Justin's like, "Is he serious?" I'm like, "No, he's not serious. It's Mike Tardino."
No,
like my first introduction to Mike Tardino was, he was coming down to small tournament, Echo Cup, right? And so he was literally coming down with his stick. And like almost like a hobo has his stick in like a little bag on the end. That was Mike Tardino.
Yeah.
Like he had enough just to survive the weekend.
Well, that's all he wears anyway. He doesn't really wear equipment.
Yeah.
He was apparently a very good lacrosse goalie. So he laughs when the puck hits him. He thinks it's a joke. So he doesn't really, I think his shin pads are this big.
I think he was using soccer. I think when he came down to Atlanta, he was using soccer shin guards and actual lacrosse gloves.
Yeah.
And then he's got his Jofa helmet.
And his Jaffa bucket. That's it. That's how he rolls.
Yeah. It's insane.
Such a good player and very like he skates and plays very easy. Like I don't know how to really explain it. Like everything looks so nonchalant, like very smooth, effortless. And he's so big and long. And then he takes 2 strides and he just takes off. He's a really, really good player. But yeah, that league is just it's filled with animals. It's like, and then we got a bunch of ice hockey guys that are like converted, that are in the league too. So, you know, it's just, it's really competitive. It really is a competitive. Sketch is in the, you know, Sketch plays, bunch of the Sting guys are in it. Bunch of pro guys, black ice guys. Like it's a stack. You'll have some fun. You'll definitely enjoy the Thursday night atmosphere.
Yeah, and I'll see what I can do about getting up there because, like I said, I mean, my parents are probably 45 minutes, maybe 45 to an hour. So
yeah,
I can possibly pull it off. I just like gotta check with the wife.
Oh yeah, the boss. Check with the boss.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta ask her like, hey, can I buy a plane ticket? Like, I want to go play hockey.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a business trip.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's what my wife was. Everything's always business. Like
anything hockey's business.
Yeah,
I need an excuse.
It really is business. Best thing I ever did. Like, sorry, I gotta go play hockey. It's marketing.
Sorry, honey. I gotta go to this tournament. Are you playing? No, I gotta sell some wheels.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to Italy to sell wheels.
Yeah.
See you later. What?
Yeah.
At least I played in that.
Yeah.
But,
and then you got to go. Well, the entire dinner that I paid for and all the wine, it's a tax write-off. Tax write-off.
It's all part. It's all marketing.
Yeah.
Wine and dine.
I mean, Justin, you got anything for him? Unless you want to hit him, if you got any more questions, because I mean, the major topics I wanted to hit, was champion themselves. Chris, your early playing career, which you've already touched up on yourselves. We've talked about USRC. So Justin, I mean, I'm out of questions. You got anything for him?
Okay. I wanted to ask what your stance was and how much you've heard about the College Roller Foundation and the Women's College Roller Initiative.
I think it's amazing. I think it's a great idea. Again, anything to kind of grow the sport I'm a fan of. I think the more you can promote the sport or at least give people opportunity to excel, the better everything's going to be, the better players are going to be, the better the programs are going to be. So by doing this, I think it's really going to help a lot of, players that might not have been able to either afford college or get out there. It's a good opportunity. It also gives people something to strive for, give them a reason to try to get the scholarship or, become part of the program. And then later on they could give back. And it's just a good community effort. We have a charity up here called Hockey Giving Hope. We're a 501c3, 100% pass through. Like, we don't make any money on it, but the hockey network is a really strong network. And even in my other businesses, like, I've always come across hockey players. There's always that bond, and there's always that like need for, it's almost like you're a part of a team because you played hockey. Even though if you didn't play together, it's still like that bond. So you want to help somebody out that was a hockey player or is involved in hockey somehow. So I think it's going to be good because, it's going to take some time to grow and get the word out there. But like what we did with Hockey Giving Hope, like, we were just trying to help out families that were going through some hardships during the holidays. We had a very good friend of ours pass away in a car accident. He had 2 young kids, and right before a holiday, it's just, it's bad, it's sad, and the worst part is it happens all the time. Like, we literally had 3 people die in car accidents right before the holidays this year with young kids. And it's like, and it's all either people we knew directly or just in one friend of a friend, like indirectly by one removal. So it's, it's good to do whatever you can to kind of give back and keep the network and the community alive, and just try to build the community even bigger.
Well, and the one thing I can compare it to, which he's been putting in the work, is Colby's Wish Cup, right?
Right.
And it's like, I mean, that took a couple years to get as big as it is.
Right.
Right. And so now it's a spectacle, and it brings, it's for Make-A-Wish Foundation at Middle Tennessee, and and it's for a good cause, right? And so, anything, and I feel like, and I'll say it about hockey in general, is the communities are so tight that when something goes awry, you can rely on your hockey community in your area.
Right.
And so, and that's just the impact that hockey has, because to me, I feel like if you grew up in just some sort of organized hockey, you were taught not only how to play hockey, but also how to act.
Right.
And so that just goes into just character. And so hockey usually, unless you're a thug, which not all thugs on the rink are terrible people, right?
Right.
They just have, they just, when they step on the rink, like, oh, I don't want to play this guy.
It's just their style.
Yeah. And so, but most of those guys that are, the assholes on the rink, they're actually usually pretty nice guys off the rink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and so it just goes for the sport. Yeah, you can be competitive on the rink, but then, when it's needed off the rink, hockey communities, and I can say our roller community here in Asheville is tight-knit, great group of people. And most of the ones that I've seen elsewhere, Highline, most of the guys that you play with, they band together and they do things for a good cause.
Yep. Yeah, we were a part of the Wish Cup. The one year we brought 2 teams down there and did some sponsorship stuff with Colby, and we ended up winning that pro prize. We had Chavo come out and PJ, and we put together a nice team, and we ended up donating the prize back. And again, it was a good cause. It was well run. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, again, the hockey community, it's like none other. I really, can't say anything. It's treated me well, so that's why I'm always trying to give back and get involved and get out there. And
I definitely always feel like I like hockey players more than other humans. And I feel like you just know, I really do. Like, I was walking around the other day and it's cold out, and there's a guy walking around with slides and shorts. Yeah. And I was like, hey man, you play hockey? He was like, yeah. I just knew it because no one else is gonna do that.
Yeah, who else is walking around in slides and shorts in wintertime?
Well, you find yourself just talking to random people anyway, and then you're like, oh, you're a friend of a friend. Like, you know this person. Like, okay. And then like, you just found us another C goalie.
Yeah.
From, so like, Justin, you're always at the rink on your time off, and it's just, you just find people. It's just you.
Yeah. I like to meet people.
Yeah.
I like to hear people talk. Hence what we're doing.
Yeah. Letting us talk.
Yeah.
So what else? I didn't even know you had like a live feed going, like with and questions.
Oh yeah, it's live. So I mean, the comments. If any good questions come in the comments, then we usually ask them. Like we're live on YouTube every Thursday.
How many New York accent comments are there? Like only
actually none.
None.
No New York accent.
We did have some guy say he wants to be on the pro team, but then he just dropped it real quick when I told him to sell himself. So. But people really liked the write-off comment.
Yeah, they said everything's business.
Oh yeah, all business.
If there's anything that you wanted to touch that we didn't touch on yet,
I think I mean, listen, I like talking about Champion and my brand. I really didn't come on just to make this a whole promotion thing. It was more of,
we did.
I know.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
thank you. And it has been a big fan of Champion, and I'm super happy that you and I met when we did, because you did become a fan and an ambassador for us. But the fact that you like the product and you promote it, and now you're growing here with the podcast and doing other things as far as the sport's concerned, like it's all good business. It's all good people, and good networking. So I'm happy to be on. And, I thank you for the compliment, because I did hear it from a few people, but you were probably the first one that said, man, you brought Champion like right out of the gate and right to the forefront, like faster than many other companies have. And, I appreciate that.
And it's Mike West in the comments, by the way.
Oh, figures.
Yeah. He says he said it's Mike West that's available for the pro team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, like I said, I mean, and I told you, when someone made that comment, I completely agree with them, right? Because like I said, there have been companies that came and gone, and they smooth. You did it right. You didn't jump in for the money, right? You did it for the dedication to the sport. There's a lot of companies that you saw, they jumped in because it was popular. You're like, oh, this is going to happen. And then they're like, yeah, see you later. Like we didn't make any money on that. It's because you came in too hot, and you gave away. Like, I think we talked about it. Was the last podcast, Justin, when the people came in, they gave out a bunch of product and then no one bought it.
Right. BioSteel. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you can say that. I mean, I can't tell you how many, I think it was at Wish Cup, right? And how many bottles of BioSteel and how many packets were thrown around, and they got a bunch of crap in stores, but it was just unfortunate that they
go out.
I think they went bankrupt. At least I know.
Really?
I think they still exist.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, it's just one of those things where you can't just join with a company and just go, here's a bunch of my stuff, I hope you buy it again.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I'm like, I get to use this, and then it's like, if you don't like it, at least I got free stuff, and I can just move on with my life, right? So, like I said,
my business model from the beginning, was to have affordable products too. And the way we're able to achieve that is I'm not interested in selling to Pure and Hockey Monkey and Hockey Giant and Inline Warehouse. I mean, eventually, if they want to carry the products, then that's great. But, they're pretty demanding on the product, on the manufacturers. And for a small business, cash flow is everything. Mm-hmm. So to me, I would have rather have passed on the discount to the consumer and gone direct sales or mom and pop shops. Like, we're in a bunch of pro shops, but most of the sales we do are at events or online. Sideline swap. And the other issue with them is they have like no Amazon clauses. So if Pure wants to sell the legacy wheels, they'll tell you can't sell them on Amazon. Well, Amazon takes like 18% and they pay you in 2 weeks. So to me, and Amazon is huge when it comes to re-ads and SEO. Like there's so much in Amazon, the benefit, that it's crazy to sacrifice that, because they'll do drop ship. Like you could sell stuff on your website, on eBay, and on Amazon, and Amazon will drop ship all your orders. They'll do your warehousing. They'll do like this. It costs you a little bit more, but nowhere near like wholesale, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, I'm able to make the prices more competitive because essentially it's not so much a wholesale price. It's a discount. They're making their money, and I'm getting paid faster. So the cash flow is there. So you're able to keep continuing order new. I mean, I don't want to get into the minutia of it. I mean, Pure Hockey's a great company. Hockey Monkey's a great company. They're great stores. Don't get me wrong, but for a small business like me, and when you're trying to grow and scale, it's very hard to have the cash flow and the inventory tied up in the box stores at a discounted rate. So,
well, and your product's also sitting next to every other product they have too.
Right.
So it's, someone walks in and they've never heard of Champion. Well, it's unfortunate, but they're more likely going to go with the brand that they've known. So, and like you said, the clause doesn't help either.
Right.
So, and I didn't know about that. I didn't know they put clauses out that you couldn't sell elsewhere.
Yeah. Well, it's because they compete online. So, Amazon's a behemoth when it comes to SEO. Same thing with Pure and Monkey, like their online presence, especially inline warehouse, like their online presence is very big, and they're trying to sell online as well as the stores. But that's why, like, I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, but you won't find like the newer products. You'll find some products from Bauer or Lebeda or CCM on Amazon, but they're usually like last year's model or defects, or it's used or something along those lines, where they have a clause where they don't want you to sell on Amazon. So our model's a little bit different, and like I said, I'd rather pay it to the consumer, pay it forward than trying to appease these bigger corporations. So
yeah, I understand that for sure. We do have a new question from the chat. Someone's wondering if you're planning on doing goalie wheels.
We do have the legacies coming in 68s at the moment. I know some goalie skates are calling for 68 millimeters. We're not doing 59s yet. We probably will do them in the legacy sooner than later. And again, this comes back to business. Not that we hate goalies. Like our goalie legacy stick is out now. A lot of good feedback about the goalie sticks. We sold like a dozen sticks in 2 days. Like I had to put 2 more orders in because the goalie sticks move so quickly. I think I sold 6 on sideline swap in a day, like within hours.
Nice.
And but the problem with the goalies is, one, they don't change their wheels that often, and two, they're one player out of 10, 12, or 15 skaters. So for us, again, goes back to, I don't want to have inventory just sitting on my shelf stagnant, waiting for that 1 out of 12 player to decide maybe in 6 months he's going to buy new wheels. Like I kind of like asked around to some of the goalies and said, how often you change your wheels. And a lot of them said like, 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year. I see some goalies that their wheels are burnt down to the bearings. It's the hubs showing through, and it's unfortunately, as a growing business who's looking to scale, I don't want to have inventory just sitting there. So unfortunately, the goalies have taken a little bit of a backseat, and it's only because of that reason. It's just business sense, not really anything personal. Sorry.
Well, and I can say, so I dabble in goalie, right? And we've talked about this before the show. I use player skates. I don't even use goalie skates.
Right.
So, I've seen some goalies that don't use goalie skates, and it's probably because, like me, that I like the leaning forward with the high lows, and the flats kind of feel awkward on me.
Right.
So I understand that, and it's all about what's going to sell.
Right.
So, and let's be honest, nationwide, like probably globally, we're in a goalie shortage.
Right.
I mean, we're in such a goalie shortage that for ice hockey, they have especially in Canada, they have an app that asks goalies to play and they'll get paid.
Right.
So,
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That started a couple of years ago, and then of course you get the goalies that are local and they're like, oh, so what would you pay me to come?
Yeah.
But we've never
let's not talk about that.
I've always been a firm believer though, like the goalies shouldn't pay like on a team.
Agreed.
I've never asked a goalie to pay for an entry fee or anything like that.
I might have the only goalie on my team that I go to try and bring to every tournament if he's available. He insists on paying.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, you don't like, and I think I think it was at one point he may have probably had his worst tournament with us, and this is probably a couple years ago. From then on, he was just like, I feel bad. I'm paying from now on. I was like, you don't have, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was gonna say. Is he takes a lot of things to heart, so he was too serious about it.
Yeah, I could see that.
So what you're saying though is that every goalie who watches this should plan when they have the need to change wheels to hit up Champion and say in X amount of months, and then you can print them then.
Yeah, we'll time it.
All right. Well, I think the only other thing we have left to do is rapid fire.
Okay, hit him with
it. Is
it.
that true? All right. Are you ready, Mike? Oh, sorry, Chris.
Oh, he's replaced you with Mike West already.
West already.
Oh,
I've been typing his name so many times.
CEO Mike West.
No. Chris, are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm ready.
Start with the easy one first. Do you rock high-lows or flats?
High-lows.
Of course. What is your preferred stick?
I'm using the Legacy stick. Square shaft.
Yes, sir. What flex and blade do you use?
I was using a P1485, but I recently switched to the P2885.
Nice.
I'm getting old, and it gives me a little loft.
All right.
I see. I can't use that curve. It skyrockets.
I came from the coffee curve, so
yeah. I mean, the P77 is a good one.
Yeah.
And that's it's hard to find.
Yeah.
So.
What skates do you think are the best skates around right now?
I've always worn CCMs. I have a wider foot, so my skates are an ice hockey boot that's converted. So I have the same ice and roller boots, but they're CCMs only because I got a fat foot. Again, there's a shoe for every foot. So
I got one. I got one for him. I got to ask this why it's on my mind.
Okay.
Since you play both roller and ice, is there a thought process that goes through when stopping?
Do I have to think about it? I don't think I have to think about it, but I do have a routine that I do when I get out on the rink to try to transition myself back and get a feel for my stride is a little different. I do change my stride a little bit because I don't have edges. But yeah, I'll go out there and I'll do figure eights in neutral zone. Okay. And then I'll try to stick handle with the puck a little bit just to get a feel for the weight difference and how easily it slides or doesn't slide for that matter. But that's more of the thought process, not so much stopping. The stopping is kind of the same.
Okay.
What is your favorite league you've ever played in?
Oh, my last year of juniors, ice hockey was probably the best year ever. I mean,
very cool.
Even though we lost in double overtime in the nationals, we played 70 something games that year, and I think we were like 68-3 going into nationals. Like we were stacked. We were a good squad.
Heck yeah. What is your favorite inline rink you've ever played on?
Favorite inline rink? I don't know. I mean, I like Nashville. I like Nashville when the weather's nice and cooperates, and there's a nice cool breeze. There was a nice ambiance. But if I had to really say it, the rinks in Italy were absolutely amazing.
Very
Though not
cool.
really ice rink. I mean, they were really ice rinks that were converted, but those were definitely by far the nicest rinks I've ever played on.
Sick. What do you think your favorite tournament series is?
Well, besides that, the USA's, State Wars has always been the tournament nationally. You got the best group of guys. You got the most, like for me, again, I'm older, so I'm playing in the 35 and over. I'm playing in the 45 and over. So we're getting the best competition in those age brackets in State Wars, the Summer Wars. So to me, that's the best.
Well, I also feel that having to put together guys from your own state makes it even harder to maybe not for New York, the Northeast where hockey is all over, but especially on smaller states that don't necessarily have as many rinks. It makes it harder and a harder competition to try and pull talent from.
Right.
So that, like for instance, like we're trying to do State Wars this year and we're trying to field a team.
Right.
So
I hear you. Yeah, for us, like we have so many guys in our, like I said, our Thursday night league. Like it's pretty easy to try to field a team. One couple times we've had two teams from we'll have the snipers going out, impact going out. You got a couple other teams that possibly fill in. So I think stay with Timmy and Greg do a great job organizing it. It's it's like clockwork, and it's just a good atmosphere.
What's the address to your warehouse? I think I could start living there remotely.
I know. I might actually put a shower in the back for when we're training. Luckily, the gym I go to is right across the street, so I could always go shower over there. But
okay,
I kind of got it all, and you can't see the refrigerator and stuff in the kitchen area, but that's in the other room.
That's awesome. Who do you think the best player is right now in inline?
Oh, PJ's my boy. PJ. I thought he was great at inline, and then he started playing ice with us, and I'm like, holy shit, he's better at ice than he is roller. I didn't think it was possible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, phenomenal. And
just a good player.
He's one of those guys that makes everybody around him better. And he doesn't discriminate either. Like some of the hot shot players, like they'll look you off every single time. He doesn't care. He'll put it right on your stick. If you fuck it up, then oh well. You made the pass, but he'll put it right there for you. He's an amazing player, good guy. So he's my boy. I have to go with P.
All right. Well, after that information, sign me up for the champions team. He'll give me the puck.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you the puck. Am I going to get the text again? Do you need another pro player?
Maybe.
I have 27 text messages, so let's see if Mike West is one of them.
Probably.
Surprisingly not.
Oh.
Though for sure I would have got a text from him.
What do you think the roller community needs and roller hockey in general needs to continue growing?
I think we need more venues that care. We need more consistent venues, like we were talking about with Nashville. You build a beautiful facility, and then you have inclement weather play a factor. Like that takes the motivation out of players sometimes. Mm-hmm. You get home from work, and you're like, I can't wait to go play hockey, and then all of a sudden it starts drizzling, and it's like, do I really want to go to hockey and fall and hurt myself and have to go to work tomorrow? Like, to me, that kind of takes the motivation out of it. Even with ice hockey here, like some of the ice hockey facilities here, like there's no shower, or there's no hot water in the shower, or it's just dirty and moldy and smells like shit. Like it plays a factor. It really does. Like we started team champion ice hockey team because the team I was playing on they had us playing at 10:40 at night. It was an hour drive for me, and there's no shower in the facility. So not only do I have to drive an hour and 10 minutes home, I then have to shower at 2:00 in the morning and then get ready to go to work the next day. So it's like for here in New York, and again, I don't know how it is in some of the other places. I've been to some nice facilities that have a bar restaurant there. They have showers there. So it's a little bit more accommodating. But for here, and even like Irvine, like they had a huge situation with weather last year. Luckily, they didn't have an issue this year. To me, it's just got to be a little bit smarter with the facilities and more accommodating for the players. Have some sort of locker room, have some sort of benches at least for people to sit on to get dressed. And that'll help grow the game because, you feel like a champion. Like we joke around, like look like a champion, act like a champion. But it's all about the feeling. Like when you are excited about something, you want to keep doing it and you want to tell everybody how great it is. And you want to get your kids doing it. My wife doesn't like going to our rink because it's dirty and dusty, and my son wants to climb all over the floors. And when he leaves, he's a dust bunny. So it's got to be, full circle. I think that's the biggest thing. And then it's just marketing expenses would probably be the next two. Getting the name, getting hockey out there, growing the women's side of things so that the young girls are involved, and making it affordable so that players can try it and dabble and get out there and feel a part of it and not feel like they have to have the $1,000 skates in order to be competitive.
Which blows my mind too, right? And I know we're getting off track a little bit, but looking at ice skates today, you have to buy the boot, then you have to buy the blade.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you're spending over $1,200, $1,300. I'm like, where's the affordability?
Right. Exactly.
There is.
So that's the thing is and because there's not many companies around anymore. So there's no competitors to drive the price down.
Right. It's the competitors, but material costs are expensive.
I understand that.
Labor costs are expensive. I mean, I see all this. Shipping costs are expensive now. Like everything plays into fact that what you have to charge.
Oh, Mike West.
What is he saying? I saw the laugh. What is he?
He says, excited in the shower. Tell me more. Some guys just want to go in and suds up their bud.
I'm gonna say this: rinks that don't have showers are evil.
Yeah, I don't get it. Disgusting.
Yeah.
To me, it's
messed up.
I don't know. I grew up with a rink to shower in, so I also wrestled, so we had a shower after practice. So it's like, there was no insecurities going on there. But
that's kind of a cool segue. What do you think the most important trait for a hockey player is?
The most important trait, I think, is perseverance, especially at an early age. And I'm seeing it with my son a little bit. You have to have a child, or you have to have it in your personality that you want to try, because when you fall, it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to stand on skates. It's not easy to learn how to skate. It's not easy to then skate and stick handle a ball or a puck. There's a lot of factors that go into the game, and it's not easy. So to me, you got to have that personality where you're going to keep trying. You're going to keep pushing to get good, and you're going to want to practice, and you're going to want to be better. And that, I think, says a lot about hockey players and even our personalities now, is in business or in work. Like, I think the best workers, like I've always wanted to hire hockey players, not just because I am one, but they work harder, and they're not complaining about heat or sweating or not eating, or, it's just a different breed. I mean, goalies are a completely different breed, but
that's because they're weird.
Hockey, they're just weird, right? But then again, they're getting hit in the face with pucks. So you got to have a little bit of extra screw loose to be a goalie, but you got to have a little bit of extra, you got to have a little screw loose to be a hockey player. I mean, and then to go to that next level where you're getting your face smashed in and you're just, spitting your chiclet out and continuing to play, and, you gotta want it. You just gotta have that in your body that you're going to just keep going and persevere through whatever it is.
See, I mean, I could be a poster boy for spitting chiclets too. I mean, I've spit out plenty of teeth.
Right? I mean, I had my cheekbone shattered. I broke my orbital bone. I've had a couple teeth, broke my nose twice. The funny part was when I broke my nose the second time. Was it the second time or the first time? I don't know. They did a scan of my head, and they're like, "Oh, so when did you break your orbital bone?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, you got all the calcification right here. You must have broke your orbital bone." And I'm like, "I had no idea." I'm like, "I got hit in the face with the puck twice and then stick a couple times, but
A couple fists.
I had no idea. Like it was just there was a mouse, there was a split. I put some tape or a butterfly on it, and some Mederma after to make the scar go away, and that was it. You know, you move on.
I didn't do the whole scar disappearing thing. So
yeah, but you strategically got your scar in the right angle as your eyebrow, so it works.
Yeah, if the eyebrows go in the right way, it's not noticeable. But when it's not, I get like, oh, would you shave that into your eyebrow? No, it's permanent.
Some people shave that in.
Yeah,
you got a natural one now.
I mean, I got 3 teeth that are half fake, so
all stuck. Hence the cage.
You got
now. That's why now I wear a cage because I'm tired of paying the medical bill.
Protect that pretty face.
Look at this thing. It's got to stay. This is poster boy right here.
Yeah, but we don't even get to see it with your cage on. That's the best part. Poor Whitey. Whitey had a comment on our post that I covered his face with the logo, but I'm like, I haven't really asked him if I could use the photo. So the guys are like, can we use these photos? I'm like, well, it's got champion uniform. I'm like, you know what? Cover the faces so we don't hear like, oh, why are you posting my face with champion or da 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 da. Some people get a kick out of it. And honestly, I think there's only been one time where somebody was like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be posting my image on your stuff. And I was like, all right, I have no problem removing it. Don't worry.
And Whitey's just going to talk shit anyway, so it's fine. And also, I'm pretty sure that tournament he was wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs bucket that he bought, and he was trying to convince people that he was playing, that he played for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the tournament. And I was like, dude, you're playing for a set, like you have a sad franchise stickers on your helmet that you bought on like Sideline Swap. Like it's okay. It's okay.
He's another great guy.
Yeah.
But if he didn't have those gloves, he probably wouldn't even realize that it was him. But of course, you know, he's got these flashy gloves on, so he's like, that's me.
Yeah,
you know? But I think social media really has brought some fun out in like business because, you know, stuff like that where you're communicating and there's kind of like that open line of communication, or at least you're able to like joke around or dig or chirp a little bit, especially for hockey. I mean, listen, I don't know if T-Mobile is so keen on some of their comments, but you know, when it's hockey guys talking to hockey guys, it's like, all right, we're having some fun here, you know. But
you know, we can do a pumpkin head for Halloween. You know, put a pumpkin right on my head.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's plenty of things you can do with me. Like we'll set it up. Don't worry,
Justin. I see it already. We're gonna be down there in Georgia, and Dan's gonna be in front of every camera, or the lights are gonna go out, or something's gonna happen to make sure that there's no good photo. I'm flying Michael in, so Michael will be in Atlanta filming. So we will have our media team there. So good luck. Well, listen, Michael's gonna be locked in a storage closet somewhere.
Yeah, listen, like I said,
never said anything.
Just have champion, like just sit me on the bench because you know the best shot's gonna come from me, even if I'm sitting on the bench. Like it's fine. Like I don't have to play for the pro team, and I won't collect any prize money. But you know, you just stick me out there for warm-ups.
We'll mic you up.
It's where you mic me up, right? I'll talk shit. I'll talk shit to Bud and Feathers. Right, and they'll be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm the
never
poster
play
boy.
a ship.
I'm the poster boy for champion. Like, who are you?
A pro alternate.
Yeah, or pro alternate. Like, we got this.
On the spot.
This is gonna be good, right? And then PJ's gonna be like, "Listen, man, you're stirring up too much shit. Like, just go sit on the bench." I'm like, "All right, no problem, I got you."
It'll happen. I think you're right.
Listen, I'll shit talk the champion goalie in warm-ups when I score a goal. I'm like, come on, man, you can't even save that.
Yeah. You always need a shit talker out there.
Yeah, because who do you got goal? You have Roadrunners goalie, right?
We're not sure if Keith's going to make it.
Oh.
I think we have Keith and Stavi on the line right now, so I'm not sure who's coming through.
Well, regardless, I'll sit there and like you put me up for warm.
Maybe you can play goalie. We might have to put you in net with your.
You just let me know. I'll bring the goalie gear down.
Oh my god!
You'd be surprised too.
My pads are white, black, and yellow.
Oh boy, here we go.
He's actually better than you think too. It's kind of crazy.
I could tell he's an athlete, so I'm sure he's not going to flounder around too much in there. We'll see.
Well, no, that's the thing is he does flounder, and somehow it works amazingly.
Here's the thing, right? I grew up watching Marty Brodeur.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's more butterfly than it is hybrid, but then I throw the hybrid in there, right? And then I give the glove side, right? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I take that away, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this will get to right. I'm like, oh, I could square it with the shooter here, but no, 2-pad stack windmill.
Every time.
We'll see. But we'll keep it in mind.
Yeah, put third tier goalie. Like you just let me know.
Backups.
Yeah, listen, if I got to dress up and put the champion jersey on and skate around in warm-ups with the champion jersey and goalie pads on, and Mike West can pan into on me, and we got it. Don't worry.
Got it. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, I only have one more question.
Sure.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun. Thank
you.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It's always good to chat it up and talk hockey a little bit.
Yeah. I'm glad you came on. I enjoyed it. We had some good laughs.
Yeah.
So, and we had it's nice to hear a solid New York accent, because when I talk to my brother, it's because he's worked in Brooklyn for so long. It's the Jersey Brooklyn accent, and it just sounds terrible.
More Goomba.
Yeah, and he's not even Italian, so it's awful.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell with the way he's kind of presents himself.
Yeah, he's gold chain. He's got he's darker skin tone than me.
Nice.
So he's got it all go. Yeah, he's got it all going on, but he's
playing the role.
I'm putting it out there right now. He's not Italian.
That could be,
he's going to talk a bunch of crap.
Don't worry. We'll talk the business side of Champion with Mike West.
When is he on? Because I got to put that in my calendar. I can't wait to listen to that.
I think it's February 8th.
February 8th.
Is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
we're ready.
But hey, if you're watching, make sure that you